Hello again for the stories of our double coyote today. August 29th is when I did this, but this, as I said, don't matter. And we had Coyote on the bottom of the deck. Look, he wanted to share the story. She wanted to share the story. Okay. But look, South Shield, this is the coyote as well. Okay. Innocence and inner child. Okay, that's what the South Shield represents on our medicine wheel. And Coyote stands for that innocence, and that's the place of innocence. It's the place of the child in the South. So, the teachings. Here we go. See, I'm going to read from the South Shield first. Sacred Path cards. Red Earth, South Shield, child filled with wonder. Teach me to yield. Laughter is your giveaway in innocence and joy, tricking me into the place of little girls and boys. Of our little girls and boys within us. Okay. And wind's blowing. It's beautiful. I love the wind. So the teaching. The South Shield is the shield of the child within, as well as the place where physical life begins. Red, the color of faith, is the color of South on the medicine wheel, or the sacred hoop. From south to north, the good red road of our earth walk leads us to the experiences that gives us understanding of living in harmony. In the Western tribes, the coyote or mouse sits in the south. In the Eastern tribes, the porcupine is the creature being that holds the energy of the child. In our day-to-day lives, the adult self often forgets to allow the wonders of life's beauty to enter the heart space, and sarcasm takes over. Let me read that again. I don't know if that just tripped me up, or maybe you too. In our day-to-day lives, the adult self often forgets to allow the wonder of life's beauty to enter the heart space, and sarcasm takes over. It is during these times that the ego begins to fear the loss of self-esteem and wrecks the best laid plans for using creativity in a positive way. Fears can destroy the sparkling synchronicity of our internal timing and lay waste to the perfection of our beautiful uniqueness. Great mystery created all people in their own sacred spaces, with their own gifts, talents, and abilities. The child of the South Shield knows this and is more than willing to allow others to share in their co-creation, using all talents to better the world, to better the whole world. How about that? It was during a time when I had become too serious that I was given the teaching of the South Shield. Did we read the South Shield yesterday? Did I already read that one? I think so. I was sitting on the hillside of a canyon high above the noise of the city, looking to the south and entering the silence of a quiet heart. On my right was the far canyon wall covered with giant bushes of green sage, Napoleon's cactus, and fragrant larkspur. It was early spring, and the place where I was sitting was the perfect vantage point for viewing the whole canyon. The headiness of the early morning dew on the sage and larkspur was filling my senses with rich perfume. I closed my eyes and reveled in the glory of being alive. Grandfather Takits's voice filled my head, and he guided me to a place inside myself that held the understanding of the South Shield. He reached out from the blue road of spirit to touch my heart and introduced me to a little girl that was riding the back of a coyote. I watched her in my mind's eye as she wound her way up the canyon trail, giggling as she petted Coyote that served as her transport. Grandfather Takits told me to notice her gentle way of being. He said, "She may look like a child who is ordinary, but look at her connection to the coyote. There is no fear in her. The coyote has no desire to trick her and to run far and fast so that she would fall off. I began to understand why Coyote was called the Trickster. Coyote teaches us the beauty of our trust and our innocence until we become too serious. Then backtracks to trick us out of the pompousness that makes our fears and seriousness. If we forget to be children and take life with laughter and ease, Coyote is there to pester us until we let go of the inner pain that keeps us from knowing the joys in life. The little girl rode up to the big rock where I was sitting and handed me a basket with 3 items in it. She began giggling, and the coyote rolled his eyes and then laughed in a howling sort of way. Grandfather Takits's voice filled my head, and he instructed me to look at the gifts in the basket. These gifts are the symbols of 3 paths to understanding the South Shield. Touch them and listen to their meanings. I picked up the first gift. It was a Heyoka doll. There was the story I was thinking of. We did Heyoka, not South Shield. The first path, understanding the wisdom of the child, is the spirit of playfulness, he said. If you can laugh at the events that strip you of your ego-centered pride, you will return to innocence and humility. It is from that place of new beginnings that all things become clear and filled with truth. The seriousness of the adult cannot wreck your relationships with others if you honor the child's wisdom of balancing the sacredness with the irreverence. All things have their place and time. They allow laughter to bring balance to the sense of self. Grandfather Takits then told me to hold the next gift as he explained the meaning. It was a shiny red ball. The moment I touched it, it darted out of my hand and bounced down the canyon wall with the little girl and Coyote bounding after it, laughing as they chased it. Physical fitness is the second path to the South Shield. Grandfather began to know the joy of using your body, developing the skill and grace that comes with play, allows the body to rid itself of the tensions of the adult world. In this way, it is easier to trust yourself and to walk in balance. The skill of knowing what your body can do, what its needs are, and how to give it the freedom of its own expression is the second path to having faith in yourself. I questioned Grandfather, but isn't the South Shield also having trust in others, in life, and in Great Mystery's plan? The old medicine man smiled and said, "You learn quickly, little one. Of course it is. You must now see the value of trust. Know that you may always trust every living thing to be exactly who and what they are at any given moment." Your friend Carol Blue Dove told you that long ago. It is only when you forget to observe what the essence of each truly is that the projection of what you want them to be brings Coyote to trick you out of the illusion. He paused and then continued. Balancing the body is the key to observing the truth in all things. If you use the body for work only, it gets tired and knotted up. If you balance body with physical play, it can release those ideas of being a slave to work. In doing this, you find that there is no need to hold resentment. If your body has no resentment, your thoughts become clearer. There is no tension that would stop you from trusting yourself or others, or the beauty of balance of Great Mystery's plan, or the beauty and balance of Great Mystery's plan. I understood and took the knowing of the second pathway into my heart for safekeeping. Then I reached into the basket for the third gift, which was a mirror. The little girl and Coyote came galloping up the trail to hand me back the red ball and pretended to throw the ball into the basket. It slipped and shattered the mirror. I was horrified as the image of my face shattered, and then I was suddenly looking deep into Grandfather Tokitsa's obsidian eyes. "Don't worry," he chuckled. "That is a part of the lesson of the South Shield. When you can destroy the illusion of who you are to others and be yourself, you will have restored your innocence." Looking into the mirror, I saw thousands of tiny reflections of my face. Each broken piece held a whole picture. I began to realize there are many faces or sides of ourselves that we show to others. This was almost always what we want them to see based on which face would bring us approval and acceptance. I knew that the way to regain the truth of who I was would be found in the little girl. That child within was the essence of my personal beginnings. That child within was the essence of my personal beginnings and carried none of the adult fears. She would be my teacher, helping me to learn to shatter the mirrors of self-importance and to laugh at the expectations and projections that others sent my way. It was okay to be me once more. Grandfather Tokitsa smiled and said, "Yes, you have understood that the third party to the South, the third path to the South Shield is through being who you are and understanding the beauty of that original essence. You need not alter that innocence and childlike precociousness for anyone. It is a gift for others to see that reflection so that they may drop the masks of their fear and see that they also hold that beauty in their inner child. Through knowing the child within, you will restore faith in life and capture the wonder of being alive." I thanked my 3 teachers of the South Shield and offered tobacco to the 4 directions, Mother Earth and Father Sky. It was a good day to be alive, a good day to laugh, and a good day to begin again. The application. The South Shield marks a time of returning to the childlike parts of the self that need no support from the ego. Look at how you can be humble in the present situation. Balance work with play and sacredness with irreverence. In other words, you'll need to light up and drop the uptight parts of the self before you can continue. You need to lighten up. We need to light up too, but you need to lighten up and drop the uptight parts. This may be a time to get some physical exercise to loosen up tight muscles, or to laugh to loosen up your sophisticated garbage. Stop holding on so tight and remember how to trust. How can you trust anything or anyone when the image in the mirror is not really you? In all cases, the South Shield card insists that the child within is trying to teach you something about how to handle the situation. Listening and trusting the little tyke might restore some of the lost magic of life. Remember, playfulness heals a world of woes. The more serious you take the game, the less chance any of us have of winning. And here we go to the Coyote story. More serious you take the game, the less chance any of us have of winning. Playful. Be playful. Have fun. Hee. Trickster. So here we go. So we had the Heyoka. That's what I read yesterday. When she was sitting and observing other people's shit. Do you remember that one? That's a good one. I love that story. But I also love this Coyote story too. Like here. So, Coyote, you devil, you tricked me once more. Must I sit and ponder what you did it for? The Trickster. There are thousands of myths and stories about Coyote, the great trickster. Many cultures call Coyote the medicine dog. If you have pulled this card, there we go. That's good. You see it's clear. Okay. If you have pulled this card, you can be sure that some kind of medicine is on its way. It may or may not be to your liking. Whatever the medicine is, good or bad, you can be sure it will make you laugh, maybe even painfully. You can be sure that Coyote will teach you a lesson about yourself. Coyote has magical powers, but they do not always work in his favor. His own trickery fools him. He is the master trickster who tricks himself. Look at him looking at the reflections of himself. Master trickster that tricks himself. No one is more astonished than Coyote at the outcome of his own tricks. He falls into his own traps, and yet somehow manages to survive. He may be banged and bruised by the experience, but he soon goes on his way to even greater error, forgetting to learn from his mistakes. He may have lost the battle, but he is never beaten. Coyote is sacred. In the folly of his acts, we see our own foolishness. As Coyote moves from one disaster to the next, he refines the art of self-sabotage to sheer perfection. No one can blindly do themselves or others in with more grace and ease than this holy trickster. Coyote takes himself so seriously at times that he cannot see the obvious. For example, the steamroller that is about to run him over. That is why when it hits him, he still cannot believe it. Was that really a steamroller? I better go look, he says. And he is run over once more. Contained within the trickster medicine is the humor of the ages. The cosmic joke is not just on ourselves, but on everyone else. If they are following Coyote or have strong Coyote medicine. Someone like this may be able to convince others that a skunk smells like roses. But the fact remains that it is still a skunk. Snooze time is over if you have pulled Coyote medicine. Excuse me. Watch out. Your glass house may crash to the ground at any moment. All of your mirrors may shatter. The divine trickster is dogging you, and you may trip. Coyote scratches under his arm. He does a crazy dance. He catches his tail on fire playing with matches. He jumps in the fish pond to save himself and nearly drowns. Coyote seduces a concrete statue. Coyote thinks he has found a bone, but it is a rattlesnake. Everyone watches the comedic scene. Coyote is you. Coyote is me. Coyote is booby traps, jet airplanes with toilets that don't work, blind dates, and all the humorous, whimsical things we encounter along life's way. Get ready for more of the laughs. Lots more. Whoo, chills. Go immediately beneath the surface of your experiences. Ask yourself, what are you really doing and why? Is Coyote your medicine? Are you playing jokes on yourself? Are you trying to fool an adversary? Is someone tricking you? Do you want to give the office geek the phone number of the beautiful new secretary? Or do you want to pull a prank on your best friend? When was the last time you did something just because it was crazy and fun? On the other hand, you may not be conscious of your own pathway of foolishness. You may have conned yourself. You may have conned yourself, your family, your friends, or even the public at large into believing that you know what you are doing. But listen, Coyote, you are balled up in your own machinations. Mechanisms? I don't know. Coyote, you have created a befuddling, bewildering, confounding trick. Pick up the juggler eyes from the ground and put them back in their sockets. See through the genius of your acts of self-sabotage. Find it amusing and laugh, trickster, laugh. If you can't laugh at yourself and your crazy antics, you have lost the game. Coyote always comes calling when things get too serious. The medicine is in laughter and joking so that new viewpoints may be assumed. If you have coyote medicine, you may use it to make stuffy old foggies lighten up, to add cheer to a party, or to break a death grip conversation with ease. Look at the positive side of sabotaging nosy questions about your personal life. Have fun telling some gossiper that you just returned from Saint-Tropez in your new Lear jet. Have fun, right? Give them something to talk about, right? My nanny Taylor used to say, if they're talking about me and they're giving somebody else a break, right? Yeah, that's cool. I love that part. So contrary, if Coyote appears in the reversed position, you can be assured that he is going to be contrary and a pain in your side. Look around yourself and watch which direction he is coming from. If Coyote is approaching you from the outside, beware of this master of illusion. Coyote may put you up in his spell and take you to a briar patch to pick berries. It will be a painful lesson for you if you follow him. Coyote reversed can appear in your life as a supposed all-knowing teacher, a scam artist, a get-rich-quick business planner, a rare coin door-to-door salesperson, a femme fatale, a movie producer, a television evangelist, a son, a salesperson, right? A swampland realtor, a politician, or anybody who wants you to follow their lead. Coyote is not the recommended business partner or lover. Contrary, Coyote may signal a time when everything you touch backfires. All your jokes may be exploding in your face in this reverse position. Coyote also signals a time to be aware of the intentions of others and to look for the boomerang you threw at another person coming back to knock you from behind. Someone else's trick may be on you, or there could be deception in the wind. Whatever Coyote reverse has conjured up, it could be coming from any direction. Remember, the Joker is always wild. Love to you. Big heart hugs. Have a blessed day.